Hi everybody, my name is Bree and welcome back to my channel, Bree's Arts. All right, everybody, so here's the deal. Today, I am tackling some high-end neutral Kirkland's fall dupes. Say that 10 times fast. I really love doing dupes, and I think it's because I can see how much money I can save by making things myself. It's actually quite incredible. And you guys, I'm super excited because I got a new toy. I would like to thank Gorifei for sending me a laser engraving machine to try out. At the beginning of this video, I do show an unboxing, some of the cool things that came with the machine, and I do show it in action, but I only used it for one of my 4 DIYs today. And as usual, most of the items that I've used today are from Dollar Tree and Dollarama. So with that being said, let's jump into the first DIY. All right, you guys, here we go. DIY number 1. These pumpkins from Kirkland's are so cute. They come in 3 colors and we're gonna dupe all 3. And so here is the unboxing of the Gorifei laser engraving machine. So, you know, here I am just taking it out of the box, and it comes really, really well packaged. And these little things on the sides, those are actually the legs. So just detaching those from the unit there. And I'm just going to flip this over and snap the legs into the bottom. It goes together really, really easily. And they're green as well so that they protect your eyes when the laser is running. There it is. Okay, so in this little box of goodies, there are some safety goggles and of course the power cords, and I believe there's a USB cord in there too. And there were the 4 wooden dice and then a whole bunch of different materials here. So there's some wooden squares, some felt, some cardstock, just a whole bunch of things that you can use with the laser engraver, and then 2 cute little metal dog tags. And now this is the base of the unit so that you can line up whatever material it is that you are going to engrave. So here it is all together, just like that. And so here is the app that I just downloaded onto my iPhone, and it's Bluetooth compatible. So went into my photos and I made these little tags on Canva. So just choosing the photo, and then I went in and chose the type of material that I am going to engrave. So I chose leather goods and then saved it. And then literally just started it up. Made sure that my leather was lined up on the little square there, and there it goes. Now you can see here that the laser goes horizontally as it engraves. So, you know, side to side constantly. It did take quite a long time to do these little tags. So I would say that probably each one took about 25 minutes. But you can see how detailed it is. Like, look at that, it looks great. And this is in real time, this shot here. So just going back and forth and back and forth. And of course, I was wearing the safety goggles as I was filming. Wouldn't want to burn my eyeballs. Look at how detailed it is. Doesn't it look great? And there it is, all finished. Looks awesome, I just love it. Check out the link in my description box if you're interested in purchasing the laser engraving machine. Okay, so now on to the DIY. So again, there's my little leather tag. Now I got this leather from the rolls that I got from Dollar Tree. And these pumpkins I got from Dollarama. I know that you can get very similar pumpkins from Dollar Tree as well, but these were just the ones that I had on hand. So, and they're really, really nice, like really super high quality. I believe they were $2 each at Dollarama. And so you can see I tried to take off the glitter on the pumpkin. It didn't really work very well because the paper was really adhered to it, and it was just a disaster. So I cut out the little leather tag, and here I am just tracing out the pumpkin on some contact paper from the Dollar Tree. And so I'm just going to use that to cover up that glittery side of the pumpkin there. So just cutting that out, lining it up, and then we're just going to stick that right on. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm taking my black chalk paint from Folk Art, and we're going to paint this whole thing up. So, you know, front, back, sides, everything. And now with my little tag here, I'm just grabbing some thumbtacks out for my pumpkins here. And what I'm going to do is take some of the double-sided tape from the Dollar Tree. This is the best way to adhere this leather to anything, you guys, because if you use hot glue, you can always see it through because it's, you know, a little bit chunkier, right? And so I use this double-sided tape, and you can't even see it. So just gonna line that up in the center of my pumpkin here, and take my little thumbtacks and line those up as well. And I could literally just push them in with my thumb. It was super, super easy to get these thumbtacks in. And now just taking a little bit of raffia from those hula skirts that you get in the summertime there. And I'm just making a super simple bow, cutting off the little tails there. And I am just going to hot glue that onto the top of the pumpkin. Look at that. It's so cute. Isn't that so cute, you guys? And so now this pumpkin, watch me. Shwabam! Put the contact paper on there. And now, okay, with this pumpkin, I am using the color pumpkin. I was complaining that I had to actually mix orange because I could not find orange paint anywhere. One of my lovely subscribers, her name is Cindy, she sent me a whole goodie bag full of wonderful things, and this paint was part of it. Thank you so much, Cindy. And so you'll notice here, like with the black chalk paint, that covered no problem with one coat. This orange chalk paint, this is actually 2 coats, and you can still see the wood grain through it, but I was not mad about that, you guys. Like, I am so happy with how this turned out that I decided to use that side so that you could see the wood grain. Doesn't it look great? Oh, I just love it. And so, of course, I made another tag here. This one says thankful, so I made that on the laser engraving machine, and then put some thumbtacks. And now, okay, so another pumpkin, this one I painted white. This is the same size as the black one that I did. And our tag here says gather. And again, I made all of these little tags just on Canva, and then saved them to my photos, and then downloaded them onto the laser engraver app. It worked like a charm, you guys. It's so good. And so here, just adding another little raffia bow. And that is it for this Kirkland dupe, you guys. Can you believe it? At Kirkland's, the 3 pumpkins are $50. I did mine for $6. Holla! right, you guys, DIY number 2. And this one will blow your mind. Check out the price on this, 120 bucks. So I found these wood planks from the Dollar Tree. I actually probably picked up about 6 of them. So I'm just removing the tags here, and you can see the holes there. I'm just going to fill them with this wood filler. I love this wood filler. It goes on pink, and then when it's dry, it actually dries a natural wood color. So it's pretty sweet. And of course I sanded those down when they were all dry. And now using my black chalk paint, check it out. And done. So I painted all 3 of those up with my black chalk paint. I only painted the one side. And so I got this Waverly Antique Wax from Cindy, my lovely subscriber. Oh, she's so wonderful. She sent me so much great stuff. And I have these little, I think they were garden stakes that I got at Dollarama. And I just cut them down to the size of each one. Now, those wood planks are not perfect, you guys. So I did have to measure each one of them and then cut them appropriately. And so did those up with my antique wax, and now I'm just hot gluing the frame onto the sign. So going around, just putting a dab of hot glue, and you know what? You could use wood glue. I just didn't. You could though, but I didn't. And so I'm just putting the frame all the way around nice and snug on each one of these planks. Now I don't actually show it, but when I flip it over here, you'll see it pops out like that. And I just staple, oh no, I do show this. I use my staple gun so that I can adhere them really, really well. So I didn't really need to use the hot glue. And now you can see I had to stand up because I don't know, I needed the brute force of my entire body to get these staples into this wood, supposedly. And there we go. And so here's what I don't show. I did run a bead of hot glue all the way around the back of the frame so that it was nice and secure. So I did that to all 3. There we go. Easy peasy, you guys. Okay, so I cut these decals out on my Cricut, and for some reason I am not able to share the decals that I create on Cricut Design Space. So if you are interested in these, please email me. My email is down in the description box, and I will email you the JPEGs of these 3 decals that I created. So you can see here, like, I put the first one on and then I put them side by side so that I can line them up, because if you're gonna hang these on the wall or place them on, you know, a mantle or a shelf or whatever, you wanna make sure that the sayings going across are nice and lined up. So you can see here, I'm making very sure that everything is very straight and just, you know, smushing it down there. See how nicely those are all lined up? And so I will do that with the final decal as well. Just grab my little sign there and put the decal on, make sure it's nice and lined up, and make sure it's very level, and then just smush it down. So don't you love these? Oh my goodness, they're so simple. Autumn skies, pumpkin pies, family ties, like, oh, so cute. I absolutely love these. And see, you can see the original is 120 bucks. They're much bigger, mind you, but still, I did mine for 5. Like, hello. All right, and DIY number 3. Okay, so these pumpkins are like, for the pair is $40. I only had enough half wood beads for one of them, so we're only doing one. But I'm taking this sign from Dollarama and I'm just going to cut it so that I only have 3 planks here. Now, if you don't have Dollarama, you can easily create these with the wood planks from the Dollar Tree and some popsicle sticks behind them. Very, very simple. So I just painted those up with my white chalk paint, and now taking my small half beads, I'm sorry you guys, I don't know the actual size of them. I got them off of Amazon. I'll try to link them down below. And so I'm just hot gluing these down on the slats, like the middle slat things. There you go. See? All done. Easy. And so I also take my white chalk paint and I painted up the beads as well. This DIY is so easy. It's so easy, you guys. So just painting up all of the beads with the white chalk paint and Eureka, all done. So I just moved my miter shear angle cutter thingy over just 1 notch, and I'm going to create the stem for this pumpkin, or the peduncle as we know it's called. And so I'm just cutting that down to size, and I'm just going to use, again, brute force. Did you see that? Oh, so strong. And so I'm just sanding down the pointy edges there, just rounding them off a little bit to create the stem here. And we're just going to, I believe, I will first use my Waverly Antique Wax and a baby wipe, and we're just going to give this stem a little bit of color. Oh, and by the way, that was a painter's stick that I got from Dollarama as well, that I cut up there, and just hot glue that to the back of my pumpkin. And so now, to create a little bit more depth for this piece, I'm just going to take my sanding block, run it along the beads there, and just take off a little bit of the paint, just a little bit on the sides, you know, on the top and whatnot, to give it the look of the original piece, because it definitely did show that the beads were a little bit distressed in the original Kirkland's piece. And for our final step, you see how easy? I'm just taking some tumbling tower blocks and we're going to attach those to the back of our pumpkin so that it will stand up nice and straight. And then I decided to play around a little bit. Like, I did want to just leave it as it was, but I did throw a little leaf on there. You can put like some of the little maple leaves on there if you want to dress it up a little bit. I decided to leave it plain, but you know, you do you. So you can see here, one of those pumpkins was 20 bucks and I did it for under $4. Insane! All right, you guys, last one, DIY number 4. So this one is more of an inspired by, because it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty dang close. And you can see it's like $40 at Kirkland's. So I'm taking these wooden plaques that I found at the Dollar Tree, and you can see I'm just using my measuring mat and lining them up because I am going to cut them down in different sizes. So I just used my miter box and my saw and just chopped those down so that they were nice and straight on the bottom. And I'm going to paint them up with my white chalk paint. So I have 3 different materials and we're going to decoupage these. So I have some tissue paper from the Dollar Tree, a napkin from my subscriber Joe, and some scrapbook paper that I got out of a package. I believe it was from Dollarama. And so here, of course, taking some Mod Podge and then putting it down onto the wooden plaque there, and then just tapping the tissue paper down. Do not rub it, make sure you tap it. I know that you can also use that cellophane, like saran wrap technique as well. I haven't tried it. I do just fine with my hands, but you know, you do you if you want to try the cellophane. And so I'm just obviously taking my sanding block and sanding down all of the excess all the way around once it's dry. Now doing the same thing here with the napkin. Isn't that napkin beautiful? I have used it before in a different decoupage video. It's so beautiful. Oh, these napkins, I'm telling you, Joe, goodness sakes, thank you so much for sending those to me. And so here I am again, you know, use the Mod Podge, put it down, sanding down all of the edges. And then here we are putting a really nice generous layer, not too generous because this is scrapbook paper, so it's a little bit thicker. It can handle a little bit more Mod Podge. And this you can actually rub down. Like I was pushing down really, really solidly just to make sure that it was all adhered. And there we go. And these patterns complement each other so well. Like, oh my goodness, I'm in love with this. And so these little wood slats I got from the Dollar Tree, they're a little bit smaller than the ones that you usually get, the 6-pack. And I believe there were only 4 in these packages. But you know, they come in handy, absolutely. And so I printed this decal off on my Cricut. It says, start each day with a grateful heart. And I also did put some antique wax on that plank as well. And then I printed this give thanks off on my Cricut as well, and just adhering that to that first pumpkin there. Just like that. And I'm using this, it's like a 3D pop-up double-sided tape kind of stuff. I got it at Dollar Tree. And I'm just putting it on the back of that little wood slat there, just to give it a little bit of dimension. So it kind of pops off of that middle pumpkin there. And then okay, so you guys, seriously, I cannot find the little wooden make your own ornament pumpkins, nor the little wooden leaves. If you can find the wooden leaves, you do not have to do what I had to do here, but alas, I could not find them, so I had to improvise. So I used this leaf from that Dollar Tree sign there, and I have this wood grain scrapbook paper. So I painted the leaf white, and now I am just adhering that scrapbook paper to the leaf with Mod Podge. Okay, and then to bring out the edges a little bit, I'm just using a little bit of the antique wax. Like, it worked out really, really well, but man, I wish I could find those little ornament leaves, but I've been hunting and searching and I cannot find them. So again, I'm using this, you know, pop-out tape. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. It's like a 3D tape. And I'm just putting that on the back of the leaf there. And we are going to adhere that to the third pumpkin. Like, look at how well it turned out. I really love it. I think it turned out great. And so these little bamboo sticks I got, I believe, at Dollarama. And I'm just painting them up with my antique wax. And then I am going to adhere one to each one of these little pumpkins. Just throwing some hot glue on and then, you know, putting our stems on. And I do actually cut them down a little bit. They were a little bit too long. And so taking some of the wired cord from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to put that on 2 of the pumpkins here. So, you know, positioning it where I want to. and then adhering that down with some hot glue on the back there. And again, another piece, and you can see there that I did use my pencil, and that's how I get like the curly Q. And just putting that on the center pumpkin as well. Just like that. Make sure you have your finger protectors. And so here is where I am going to adhere these together. So I'm just using some popsicle sticks, and I'm putting them just on the middle pumpkin for now because I want to make sure that everything is all lined up, right? So put those on, flip them over, and then line them up really nice and straight. Just like that. Throw some hot glue down, put it on, good to go. And again, with the tumbling tower blocks, we're just going to adhere these to the back so that it will stand up nice and straight. And now our final touch is just using some of this jute cord from the Dollar Tree. I did wrap the center stem with that, and then I am going to take a piece because in the original inspiration piece, it looked like that sign there was actually hanging off of the pumpkin stem. So I'm just wrapping it around. I am going to tie a knot into that cord there, and then you can see here I'm just pulling down on it, and I'm going to adhere the knot to the sign so it kind of looks like it is, you know, hanging from the stem. And then I just put a little titch of hot glue on the back just to make sure that that's nice and secure. And last thing, you guys, I'm just going to make a really, really simple bow and cut off the little tails there, and then put that on the stem of our leaf, and then grabbing one of these little flowers from the Dollar Tree and putting that on there as our final touch. And that is it. Oh my goodness, I think that this is stunning. So the original piece at Kirkland's, $40, and mine again for under $4. All right, you guys, that is it for our neutral fall Kirkland dupes. I absolutely love how these came out. I just think they're so pretty. Oh my goodness. Let me know which one's your favorite down in the comments down below. I kind of really like those pumpkins with the labels on them. I really love those. Now, if you want to see a video of someone else who did dupe these, I'm going to leave a link down below for Blondie Next Door. She also duped these pumpkins. She did it very differently than what I did. She's amazing. You need to check her out. I would like to thank Gorifei for sending me that laser engraver. If you are interested in purchasing it, I have a link down in my description box that will take you to their website. Now, I do want to say, of course, I love you guys so much. All of my subscribers, my new subscribers, my old subscribers, all my OGs. I love you so much. Keep those comments coming. I read every single one, and I appreciate you so much. If you want to support my channel, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link down in the description box as well. And if you like what you see, do me a solid. Tap that like button, maybe subscribe, tell your friends, you know, all of that jazz. Stay tuned for the gag reel. Bye, guys. I think everything is working properly. Looking okay? And you guys, I'm super excited because I got a new, got my fall sweater on. Feeling the fall vibe. That should be good. Today, I am doing some very neutral decor. I received, no, just wait a second. Just wait a second. I don't know. Okay. Itch your nose, itch your nose. Now, the beginning of this video does show an unboxing and all of the things that came with this laver. Looking good. All right, you guys, so here's the deal. Today I am come on, girl.